In today's episode philosophy, I'm going to discuss the different types of browser that is available in the market and what are the browsers that I use in my daily drive and development of websites. So I'm pretty sure you've heard of the browsers Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, and those are actually native browsers of big players such as Google, Microsoft, and Apple. Now we all know that a browser is an actual software which provides you with the experience of browsing the internet at 100% capacity. Now the question here is, which is the best browser out of all of this that I've mentioned? Now there's really no telling which is the best of the best because they're all good for its purpose. So if we talk about Safari for Apple, mainly a lot of Mac users or Apple users use Safari, especially on their phone, to browse the internet or if they want to open a website. Chrome does the same thing, which is owned by Google, but a lot of people say Chrome's experience is more a snappier experience and a faster loading experience when it comes to the browser. Okay, let's talk about Internet Explorer, who actually got discontinued just a few months ago. That browser in reality was a nightmare. In the past, when we had them open up pages side by side, Internet Explorer would either crash or have a disappointing delay in loading a website, or it wouldn't load a website with its 100% features and elements. So it would leave out websites that are too heavy to load and most of the time keep the user waiting and eventually hanging up on the user, causing it to crash and close down. Now, enough about Internet Explorer. It has been discontinued. And the one browser that Microsoft came up with and developed is Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge was released back a few years ago, but was not really competitive enough until the latest update. It is now packed with good features that enhances a user's experience when browsing the internet. Now, going back to the main topic, with all these browsers mentioned, there are even other browsers that people are not aware of, and only a segment in the market is familiar with other browsers, just like Opera, Vivaldi, and even the Onion browser, which is a browser to browse the deep web. Now, Onion browser is a Tor browser. This browser has a unique capability of browsing the deep web that most browsers, just like the known browsers, just like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, don't even have that ability to access the deep web with their standard browsing capabilities. Now, last week I've talked about a browser which is Opera GX, which is also a specific browser developed for gamers. In terms of browsing on that browser, it was quite snappy. It was just Chrome, but it had a more peak performance when it comes to playing games. Now, it's really hard to put a comparison with all the browsers in one video, but because of my 20 plus years of experience in developing websites and doing a lot of research online on the internet, I was able to have a great sum of experience in using different types of browsers, especially when it comes to web development, in order for websites to be viewable correctly in all browsers. As developers do a great deal of programming, troubleshooting, debugging, just to have a website load in every browsers that we could find. And that's why I'm going to give you my go-to browsers when browsing on a regular day and when browsing during development days. So in my regular days, my go-to browser is actually Chrome. And when it's on the weekend and I really want to experience and enjoy some real games, browser games online, I would use Opera GX. But when it comes to my work developing websites, my go-to browser is actually a pro version of Opera, Firefox, and Chrome. It was just recently that I had to use Edge since Internet Explorer wasn't available, and I also added in Safari when viewing all the work I've done for developing websites for clients. It is merely important when it comes to website development or when you're planning to build a website to make sure that you have your website compatible with all browsers. Now, this is pretty much impossible to get 100% all the time, but if you could get at least 90% of your website to be viewable on any browser, that would be a big plus for all the people who want to build a website in the future. Just remember, when building a website, if it's a business website, try to make it simple, try not to activate a lot of plugins altogether, and try to limit the media loading or the scripts loading in a website in order to be viewable in all the browsers. So I hope that gives you a really good insight about browsers in general. So what is your go-to browser? Comment below and let me know. Share your ideas, share your thoughts, so we could all have a great experience when browsing the internet. I'd like to thank you for watching this episode. I hope this educates you on the topic on hand. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also that bell button to get notifications on the latest uploads I do every week. In the case you'll require a team or agency to build a website for you, don't forget to check out Mediafied.com. I have a bunch of web developers ready to build your website, and we offer the best plans and packages for every website need that you'll require.